generally, when you use want to see the e-invoice, you open a sales invoice. Then from the sales invoice, you see what is the status e-invoice or the QR code for that invoice. That is generally people doing. We have that as well. We have that also. But because some of our customers is very high volume, wow. So when it comes to very extremely high volume, we are forced to turn this into like 20 to 30 different tables. And I can tell you why we do it in 20 to 30 different tables is because number one is we make use of the event-driven design philosophy, event-driven and also the queue mechanism. So whenever sales invoice, credit note, debit note, and everything that is created, the very first place that it lands is actually this posting queue. So it will go into this posting queue, and in this posting queue, you can see the documents that is coming in. But more importantly, is the job processor that actually pick this up and make the decision. That means that if that situation, then do this. If that check is valid or not valid. So this part, when it comes into this queue, it can massively parallel to do the checking if you have a lot in this queue, and we can use the database row level locking to prevent the concurrency problem and using the advisory lock to ensure no duplication and so on. That's number one. So after it comes into this posting queue, if the basic criteria also not fulfilled, then the user will be able to see what is the error. The document already exists, but there are certain part now status, e-invoice number, so what is the problem? So they can see. After this step, there will be 3 queues that we will put in. So that means that after we take up from here, this is the internal submission. So whenever it comes to this individual pool, we will do all the validation. After we validate, we have another separate submission queue. So that means that each step we are very fine-grained to go into a different queue, whereby in this submission queue, we will do the submission, and if failed, you go into a failure queue. If success, then you go into a different queue again. So so these are the queue, and then the validation queue. Okay, this validation queue is the validation of the individually. So and then this is the submission history. Okay.
In what scenario you will go to put us? Just now you mentioned that everything will come to the batch pool first.
Come here first, the posting queue, and then you will go to this batch pool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when he will go to the internal submission?
Okay. After it comes into the batch pool, it doesn't go into the submission queue because this one has to wait for a month. You have to wait for, let's say, the 5th day of the following month. If it is an individual, usually once it comes into this pool, it will do the validation, checking, and all that stuff. If all pass, then it will be sent to the submission queue to send out. But if failed, then it will remain into the queue. And if it's sent to the submission queue to submit, sent to the LHDN, if failed, then it will pull back into the individual queue. So because when we are handling, there are many different scenarios. So because most of our customers are retailers, they are having very large number of transactions. Like they sell 20 ringgit, 10 ringgit, like that.